final elimination bracket game and the final game of this second to last day of the World Series. Here we are with the Indy Edge and the Philly Fire, both coming off, Edge coming off a victory 19-12 over the Archers, who finished in fourth. Philly Fire coming off that 37-23 high-scoring loss to the Indy Thunder. So what this means now is the loser of this game will finish in third. The winner of this game will move on to tomorrow's championship game and have to beat the Thunder twice. Rosina Foster along with DB Dave Benny. It is hotter than it was when we started the Philly Thunder game, and it seems to be getting hotter by the moment, but we're going to go on ahead and get this game going very shortly. The Philly Fire had their half an hour break between games. The Edge game ended a little bit before the Fire, but I'm telling you what, this is a game of attrition now when we get down to this point in the week. Just for example, Eric Rodriguez will not be playing this game for the Indy Edge. Casey Krause will not be playing, at least not starting this game, for the Philly Fire. So you're in a situation here where you've got two of the top players, not only on their teams, but in the sport, in a elimination back against the wall situation that just because of the grind of the week and injury and health situations cannot go. And that's what we're dealing with. So game on, Rosina, and we'll just see what happens here as temperatures now risen up into the mid-90s, heat index over 100, but apparently not yet to the point where we're in danger territory.
So we did have the coin toss earlier with umpire Mike Woodward, and the Edge won that, so they are going to have home team advantage. Philly first up at bat. Philly wearing their red, black, and white jerseys, and the Edge wearing their white with purple lettering. So Fire is going to be up, and their lineup is going to look a little bit like this. Justin Rhines, Mike Coughlin, John Margist, Scott Hogwood, Nick Silver, and Cesar Lascano.
And so you see no Casey Krause in there. Ordinarily he'd be in that sixth spot, so Lascano in for him. Nick Silver, who we were wondering about most of the game against the Thunder, who came in late, he is back inserted into the lineup into his usual fifth position.
Yeah, field is almost set. We've gone over all of the rules. The umpire with the coaches and the captains at home plate. So we're ready to play ball. Get that base check. Again, Justin Rhines.
Mike Woodard says play ball, and play ball we will. Enjoy. Winner to tomorrow. Loser is done for the year.
High pop up into mid-center as he runs for third. He's already almost there. They're scrambling for that. That's going to be a run for Justin Rhines. 1-0 top of the first as we just get this started, and Mike Coughlin coming up to the plate.
Nice pop-up right there. Justin Rhines, so consistent, so fast. That's why he's their leadoff hitter. Now the lefty, Cogs, Mike Coughlin, who may have to play defense. In fact, I think he will in this game. I'm interested to see if it's not him. I don't know who it would be that would take Casey Krause's shortstop position. Here we go.
Ready for that pitch.
Pat Krause ready to chuck it. He's the pitcher and coach for Philly.
And bouncing grounder right up the middle as he runs for third. Miguel coming over to back up Corey Y. And that is going to be Miguel Tello. He did have it in time.
Barely in time, but in time nonetheless. And, you know, he might be the X factor. I've never seen Miguel Tello get overheated and tired. And I've been following Miguel Tello's career since he got to the Thunder as a 16-year-old in 2015 and onto the Edge. And he may be the X factor because he's got energy. And as a designated fielder, regularly for them, he's not running to bases.
John Margist up for Philly.
What do you think, kid?
Pat stretching his arms up over his head.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And he slams it just inside the line on the third base side as he runs for first. They're scrambling. Miguel coming all the way over to back up Corian, but that's going to be a run for John Margis. 2-0 at the top of the first.
2 out of the first 3 have scored. Ryan scored. Coughlin was put out by Tello, and now Margis scores. And now the big man, Scott Hogwood. Pat Krause is, of course, the pitcher and team leader for this Philly Fire Club. Jeremy Lopez, when they come up, will be the pitcher for the Indy Edge. And Steve Michaels is the coach and has been since the Edge formed after the 2015 season, out of the remnants of what was left of the RHI Extreme. The rest of them went to the Thunder and won 5 championships.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Bouncing grounder, middle slightly to the left. As Nick Mulhern runs to grab that, and that is going to be out. Nick Mulhern for that out.
So you also see no Eric Rodriguez on defense for the Edge, but Mulheron's up there. Mulheron was eligible starting with the last game, and he did play against the Archers, so that's another X factor because Mulheron has had a little bit of rest. The Edge have already played 2 games today, knocking off the Comets and knocking off the Archers, but Mulheron did not play in the first one against the Comets, so he may be a little bit fresher.
Scott Hogwood coming back up around behind home plate as Nick Silver gets his base check.
Speaking of a little fresher, Nick Silver came in late in the Thunder game.
Should be ready to go.
He's usually a ball of energy.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And the ball just under the swing.
Yeah, these next 2, Silver and Lescano, did not start, but they came in late when the game was pretty well in hand.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And just under.
There we go, Nick. Come now, kid. Stay with me. Reset. Set. Ready. Pitch.
Taking a pass.
Now you know. Now you're ready. What do you say, Silver? Here. Set. Ready. Pitch.
And just underneath. Strike 3.
All right. The Edge 1 strike away from getting to get off the field and get under their tent to hit.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And it's going to be a nice high, deep pop-up over into right.
Trouble.
As Nick tumbles Superman style over first base.
Well, instead, a clutch pitch by Pat Krause and a good swing by Nick, and he scores a 2-out full count run. Those are big in a game like this at the end of the week.
3-0 for the Fire at the top of the first.
3-zip.
And Cesar coming up to the plate, lining his bat along the front of home plate to set up. Wearing red socks and a red head covering to match that red jersey.
First play. Third. Play ball. Set. Ready. Pitch.
And taking a pass.
Ready here.
So he also, like Casey Krause, takes the first one, at least this time he did.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And nice line drive on the right. He's veering quite a far into. He's coming back over to the base, and he's got it before Grant can get to that. That's a run for Cesar, taking the Fire up to 4, as that's a 4-0 game.
Right side needs to stiffen up for the Edge, not only this inning, but for this game. Otherwise, Pat's another one. He'll try to find him. Top of the order. They turn the order with the 5 and 6 hitters all scoring. That's big.
Justin Rhines.
Runs are going to be a must in this game. We saw the Edge put up 28 in a losing effort against the Thunder yesterday. Saw the Fire put up 23 in a losing effort against the Thunder today.
Picking up all these little nuances in the game.
Setting Grant in place just a hair over. And now the Edge is ready.
Set, ready, hit.
Just over the top of the middle of the bat.
Set, ready, hit.
And high pop up, gonna be mid in the center, and he's running for first. They're all scrambling for it. He's already at the base. Now 5-0 as they go bang, bang, bang. Mike Cogling coming up, a lefty for the Fire.
So both of Ryan's runs have been good pokes here in this inning. Justin Rhines doesn't seem like he's having any ill effects from the heat, the humidity, the long week, the hard hits.
New game starting over, fresh from stress.
Yep.
Can also do a lot for a person.
It is impressive, these athletes, though. They only got a half an hour really to rest up from that long. It's about a 3-hour game with the Thunder, and a lot of it the Fire spent out on the sun on defense. Man, that's tough. Here's Cogs. Cogs was put out by Tello his first time up.
Set, ready, hit.
And just going underneath the swing. Stepping back up with his toes on the edge of home plate before stepping back.
Set, ready, hit.
And rolling off, hitting Mike Ricardo's shoulder and rolling behind him.
Hey, Matt, you're on that like green on grass. Come on now, boy.
Ordinarily, there's a pretty good-sized crowd out for a game like this, but we hope y'all are cool and listening wherever you are. If you're not
And,
here,
oh, that's going to go foul on the
just
left.
foul.
Mike, you just
If that had stayed fair, that would have had a perfect curvature.
contact.
If you're back at the hotel and you happen to have a Bluetooth speaker, why not bring it down to the hotel bar? Matt'll let you put it on the bar. He already told me he would, right there in the corner. And you guys can just check out the game here and be
Stay
comfortable, because
cool.
there is not the usual amount of live spectators out for this one, understandably so.
With this heat, you're probably much better off wherever you might be.
Well, not only is there no heat, but our concession truck left us, so
Well, I know I'll be ready for dinner.
yeah.
That one didn't even work.
Mike Ricardo pouring a little bit of water on the back of his neck. Getting a new ball tossed in.
What do it?
Couple tosses there from Pat to Mike Ricardo. Again, Mike Coughlin at the plate, and it is 5-0 Fire.
Set, ready, hit.
Taking a pass.
Set, ready, hit.
And just over the top, that's going to be a strike, and that will end that for the Fire and allow the Edge to come on up at the bottom of the first as we have a 5-0 game. Jeremy Lopez heading on out to the field. walk some of his players in before grabbing the ball and headed to the pitcher's mound. Fire heading on out in the field. And it looks like Sean Walker is going to be the designated fielder out there. And Mike Coughlin in that short left position.
It's not a bad inning for the Fire, all things considered. They got 5 runs. You wouldn't want it to end with a strikeout, but unfortunately, such it is. And they're going to need all of those runs with this powerful edge lineup. Even without Eric Rodriguez, this lineup, they can put up a lot of runs, much like the Thunder, in a hurry. And Rosina has that batting order for you.
So our batting order for our edge is going to look like Nick Mulhern, Corey White, Corian White, Grant Simpson, Brandon Chesser as the designated hitter, and rounding it up at number 6, Ja'Cory Wiley.
Of course, you saw Miguel Tello make a putout already. He's the flex for Chesser. So basically, you've got 3 Indy guys at the top, and then you've got 3 Texans who are playing with the edge at the bottom. Mulhern has been moved up to the leadoff spot. You remember Corey White was leading off for a little while there.
Corey, and then
Now
Corey.
they've got Corey and Corian, the
Second.
brothers White, back to back. Second and third. Corey the older, Corian the younger. Here's Mulhern.
And the ball a little on the outside edge of the bat.
Mulhern, the subject of that controversial ejection yesterday in the Thunder game.
And bouncing along the ground, almost taking out Jeremy as it goes up the middle. He's running for third. Scott Hogwood scrambling for that, and he is going to be safe as the Edge get their first run of the game up on the board. 5-1, bottom of the first.
It wasn't moving that quickly, and unfortunately, by the time it got out to Hogwood, the speedy Mulhern was there. Wonder how that might have played with Casey Krause on the field, but this is it now. You got some depleted defenses out here, and it's really kind of equalized. I mean, I would say at this point, Casey Krause on both sides of the ball and Eric Rodriguez are sort of trade-offs. They're both game changers. But they both have a lot of supporting cast around them. Here's one. Here's Corey White. As I mentioned last game, now, I can't imagine. It's got to be between him and Gerald Dykes, between the two I've seen, as far as who's got the higher batting average. I mean, they're both just ripping.
And super high pop up as it goes into
Just
left,
landed.
almost just going to center.
Forget
John
it.
Moore just stumbling over to get that, but he's at first, and that is now a 5-2 game. Bottom of the first with Corian now coming up for the Edge.
So no matter who you are, there's only 2 ways you make that play on Corey White on a ball that high. One, you catch it, which hasn't been done in a game in 22 years or something like that. The other is Corey misses a base, which he did one. He did one earlier today, and that means he probably won't again the rest of the World Series. So, 2-0 or 2 in. I'm sorry, 2 in, 5-2. 5-2 Philly, bottom of the first. Nobody out. Corian White. Who do you think's faster, Corey or Corian? Either one, depending on who you ask.
Depends.
Depending on who you
to the
ask.
left, Mike Coughlin laying down and grabbing a hold of that, and he's going to be out. And that is going to be out. And based off of that run right there, I'm going to say Corey must have been the fastest since he got his run.
Well, but
I'm just joking.
yeah, a little different. And Coughlin, who we saw as the DH last game, it is in fact in the defense short left.
Yes. Short left, and that ball really came right to him. Grant Simpson for the Edge. Yeah, Sean Walker, who was playing deep right, has been moved up to short right with Nick Silver behind him. Scott's still playing right in the middle, right on the center line. Grant Simpson. It's a 5-3 game.
Sarah, ready, ball.
Ball just going under the swing. I'll hold for this volume of vehicles.
As the sun is just beating down now, even on us here at the scorer's table and the booth, heating up table and equipment and us.
And us.
I've been in a lot of World Series. I can't remember one like
Short pop-up foul.
this hot and humid. It was hot in Norman, but it was not
dry.
near this humid.
It was humid in Beaumont, though.
But not this hot, probably.
We had a lot of
I
rain.
think. The most similar I can think of, 2008 in Houston, Texas, maybe.
Waiting for some more traffic as Grant bounces on his toes.
Sarah, ready, ball.
And pop up short right. Sean Walker coming up on it. He's going to have to get his hands on top of it.
Go! Yes!
And he's saying it was against his body, so that is going to be a run and safe for Grant Simpson. 5-4. Bottom of the first. Brandon Chesser coming on up.
Captain Beatball, baby! Base! Base!
So Coughlin put out Corey on.
Corey on, yes.
Nick and Corey scored. Grant Simpson scored.
First, please.
5-3.
Here we go. Sarah, ready, ball.
And that's just under the swing.
Yep. One out. Bottom of the first. 5-3 Philly.
Ready, ball. 20.
Did Justin Rhines not get his?
Ryan's
Sarah, ready, ball. 30.
Ryan's out in his usual left field position. He scored twice for the Fire, I believe, in the top of the first.
Sarah, ready, ball.
And here's Chesser.
And it's going to go foul.
We saw Chesser come in to replace Mulherron yesterday in that semifinal and score a couple runs.
Brandon walking it back up nice and easy. Setting up at the edge of the plate.
Sarah, ready, ball. Tip, tip. Stay with him. Fight. Fight, boys.
Just staying alive. Couple slow drags across the home plate.
Sarah, ready, ball.
And right on the tip of that, it goes on the ground up the middle as he runs for first, just outside of their hands. And John Marge is struggling for it. That is going to be a run.
Next play, here we go. Good talk, Mikey.
Fire just need to stay together here. This is another one. It's going to take a lot of runs to win this game from the looks of it here early. Both pitchers are on point. Both defenses are tired. That's a combination that usually leads to a lot of runs. Plus, this field has dried out, hardened up. The balls are scooting a lot more than they were early in the week.
Jeremy Lopez getting some water before prepping to pitch for Corey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Corey wearing long purple arm sleeves. Jeremy having him open back up towards him. And then stepping back.
Jeremy's a warrior. Speaking of Beaumont, remember what he did in Beaumont? They lost early Thursday and had to come all the way back through. Finally falling to these Indy edge. Finally, but boy,
What a journey.
what a journey it was. Now he's pitching for the edge. Then they came back in 23, and we remember that. 2 walk-off wins by the edge over Jeremy's Jets.
Short pop-up foul.
So he said, if I can't beat him, join him. Actually, that's not what he said. The San Antonio Jets, for a variety of reasons, didn't field a team in 2024, and Jeremy Lopez needed a place to land, and so here we are.
And a nice line drive out into left, just past Mike Coughlin as he runs for first. Justin coming up, and that's going to be a run. It is now tied up 5-5. Starting all back over with Nick Mulhern. Corey very animated as he's hopping right back from first base over to his bench.
And the unfortunate part for Philly is they're back to the top of their lineup with only 1 out recorded. And that was Corey on being put out by Coughlin. Other than that, 5 have scored. And this could be a big inning now because defense really going to have to make a big play here to get Mulhern or Corey, or even Corey on.
Base check.
Third. Here we go.
I thought you said one. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm hearing Eric Rodriguez strike has not been ruled out for tomorrow. Don't expect to see him today. He's having some real knee issues, but
And a nice line drive, middle to left as he runs for third. There's Stump grabbing to get that, and he's missed the base, comes back, and he still gets it. That is some defense that needs to be picked up.
yeah, they're tired. I mean, this is going to be whoever can score the most before they tell them it's over wins. That's why I think the younger, and I'm not, the Fire have a little more age to them. When you talk about Hogwood, who's amazing the way he's held up. I mean his size and his, longevity in life, let's say, his wisdom. He's
temperature.
He's a man of a certain age. And,
these games, they do wear and tear on.
And then on the other side, you got Mulhern in his late 20s. You got the White brothers in their 20s. You got Miguel Tello. You got a lot more Grant Simpson.
All those youngsters.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be tough. But the Fire are the defending champs, and if you want to beat the champs, you got to knock them out.
Set, ready, ball.
Corey up. Large truck on the road for time for that. Corey wearing Steve Michaels' #1 jersey.
I can give you the top 8 right now, and we'll get into all of them in championship game tomorrow, but we'll do that in a
And
moment.
high pop-up away foul on the left, but that baby was up there.
8th place, BCS Outlaws. How about them Outlaws? Never finished higher than, I believe, 13th before, and finished 8th. Looked really good. 7th place, Taiwan Home Run in their first World Series back since 2017. 6th place, Oklahoma Lookouts in their 3rd year as a team. As we wait for this pitch.
Jeremy revving up.
Set, ready, ball.
And it's going to go under the bat.
Chicago Comets finished 5th, highest finish since 2014, according to our numbers. Gateway Archers finished 4th.
Ready, ball.
Taking a pass.
Good year for the Gateway Archers, considering all they lost. I mean, obviously, they've got arguably the best all-around player in the game in Mark Morris. Mike Curtis is a warrior, but they lost a lot.
Oh, the frustration there on Corey.
Corey doesn't like striking out, and he lets out a growl, kinda, and let's see if his brother can pick him up.
Corian coming up, swapping, giving him his batting gloves.
Come on, Corian. Set the tone, baby. You good, Jay? You ready? Keep pitching, baby. Keep pitching. Hold on, too. Stay together.
It's a 5-6 game right now, bottom of the first. Corian strapping on the last
Keep that ball in Jeremy's hand, baby.
batting gloves and handing his towel to the catcher.
It is important to keep the hands and the bat handles dry in this heat and humidity so that bats don't go flying.
Like we saw a couple games days ago.
Corey let go of one.
Set, ready, ball.
And a slamming grounder to the left over to Justin.
Rhines.
He's going to have to line up cards past his hands, and that is a run for Corian.
He had one shot with Corian. It wasn't a great shot. You know, Rhines always seems to be close, and sometimes he gets them. He's a really good left fielder, man. One of the best. I guess I'd put. We talked about shortstops earlier with Morris and Rodriguez and Krause. Justin Rhines or Zach Buehler? Man, I don't know.
And
They're outstanding.
I think it's just going to depend on the field, a lot of that also.
Yep. Sure.
Going to have a bumpy, rolly field, or if you're going to have a nice, smooth field.
On a smooth field, I'll take Zach all day because of his goal ball ability. Sometimes Zach, though, tries to stop balls with his legs
Feet.
because that's what you do in goal ball. You can't do that in beat ball as much. Ball bounce over you.
Grant Simpson with one strike.
That said, I've witnessed Zach Buehler and Justin Rhines both make plays that most wouldn't come close to. 7 in, man. 7-5 edge. Bottom of the first, 2 outs. Grant Simpson, Simpson.
Set, ready, ball.
Just over the top.
Not Simpson, and we had to get used to that because there's so many Simpsons. This is Simpson, like Bart.
Like the TV show.
Or OJ, if that's your flavor.
And Jeremy upset with that, kind of tossing his face mask into the bench as that is going to make an out for Grant. And the Fire coming back up as we finish the first inning. 5-7, Edge leading. And we're going to take it to the top of the second.
And we're going to remind you that the 2025 World Series of Beep Baseball is presented by Mind's Eye Radio and the Lighthouse for the Blind of St. Louis, and it's sanctioned by the National Beep Baseball Association. 49th Annual World Series, second in a row here in the St. Louis Metro. We were up in St. Charles at Slyman Brothers Complex last year. This year we've been at 2 complexes, here at Glen Ed West in Edwardsville and down at Reiniger in Caseyville. All those games, of course, in Caseyville are done now. Championship game will be here, but it will be on Field 6. Field 6 tomorrow.
Close to the parking lot where we had the Wool game on Monday night.
Field 6 at 9:30 a.m. I will confirm that, whether that's to start. I believe opening ceremonies are right before that. So you might just want to tune in right around 9 o'clock or so, unless you hear different from us. If there is any changes to that for any reason, we will update all of our platforms. Our public relations page at NBBA76 on Facebook. Of course, Beatball Nation, if you follow along in that private group. And if you don't, you might want to submit a request to join. You can find a lot of information, some opinions, and a whole lot of live stream games and other Beat Baseball material. It's the largest online community for Beat Baseball in the world with over 2,000 members. And
John Margist up
Margist.
for Philly.
Captain John Margist.
Oh, my captain, my captain.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Set, ready, pitch.
High high, pop up, deep in left. Everyone is scrambling, even Miguel Tello. And there's going to be a run. Miguel getting a hold of that, but not before John hit third. So that will take it to a 6-7 game. Scott Hogwood coming up to try to slam another one in.
See, the Fire won't stop scoring either. So, and like I said, you want to beat the champs, you got to knock them out, especially when it's Philly, because they're fighters. You ever seen Rocky? 2, 3, 4, 5, or what are they up to now? 12? How many Rockies did they do?
Well, I think they're down on to not Rockies, but now they're on.
Well, they made so many that now they've got a Rocky sequel series.
Yeah, it's based off of.
Oh boy.
The Apollo Creed set. They have Creed 1, 2, and Creed 3, I think.
Well, aren't those prequels though?
No, they're following his Apollo Creed's legacy. So they're after.
I thought Apollo Creed died in one of the later Rocky movies.
Yeah,
but that...
they're like his kids or.
Oh, okay. So it's not him.
Yeah,
it's his.
Rocky.
Okay,
Yeah,
I see. I was raised on Rocky, man. I used to watch it with my old man.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And just underneath the bat.
And I'll tell you what, now it's been talked about this week, and I don't know of any associations or any attempts, but if they ever had blind boxing, I said that's the one thing get me back in shape. Philly's a great town for it. Maybe they can come up with it, and that's a strike.
Almost going down as he spun around.
It's tough out here, guys, but we're going to stay with you for as long as there's beep ball. Or until we drop, whichever comes first.
And a bouncing grounder over to the left. Nick Mulherron stopping. It's rolled
Good
over
play.
his back, and he's got a hold of it.
Good play, Mulherron. That's how you do it fundamentally. And he had to corral it, but you could hear it from here. You could hear it hit him.
It's an out by Nick Mulherron. Nick Silver coming up with his pale purple socks.
So again, I have gotten word. I'm just going to call Eric Rodriguez questionable for tomorrow because I have been told in very certain terms he has not been ruled out.
First please.
Boy, he did not look good at the end of the game against the Thunder, but knowing Eric and his championship game experience, if he can, he'll do a Willis Reed if he has to, or a Kirk Gibson, if you will. Give you a baseball reference.
Ready. Pitch.
Just under the bat.
That was a hard swing there.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And pop up away foul behind the edge bench.
Casey Krause is done for the day. He is no longer at the facility, I don't think. I think they took him to get him checked out. It's hot, and, you know.
Yeah, he was shaking on the field, literally shaking.
Pat Krause ordered him off the field.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Taking a pass.
Now you know. Here we go.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And that's going
Struck
to be
him
a
out.
strikeout. I'm not out. Not quite yet. He's got one more.
Oh,
I think he's got one more.
math gets tough when it gets above 94 degrees.
Everything gets tough about
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And pop up. This might fall on our tent. And nope, Mike Ricardo grabbing it right in front of our tent.
Good catch, good catch.
There's Corey out there doing his.
Everything gets tougher until you get to 98 degrees. Wasn't that a boy-girl band back when we were younger?
I'm not going to claim to have any knowledge of that.
Okay. You know, back in the time of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and... No.
They didn't have music when I was growing up.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And that is going to be a strike out for Nick Silver, bringing Cesar up to the plate.
So, Silver 1 for 2. He did score his first time up. Now Lascano.
Pat wiping off the ball and his hands. Everybody slow moving out on the field.
First play.
Base check.
Third. Here we go. Set. Ready. Pitch.
Taking that first one as a pass. Cesar holding, has that bat hand grip all the way up by his head.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
High pop up in the center, and it's going to come down just behind Nick Mulherron. That's going to be a run for Cesar. And now we're back to a tie game, 7-7.
And that's big. You get Justin Rhines out, who's got a hot bat right now. So the bottom of the Fire lineup, even without Casey Krause, is contributing. Silver scored one, Lascano has. And now Ryan's with a chance to give him the lead. And I'm going to tell you something, just to give you all an idea of how hot it is in this sun. The metal on this microphone that we're using is so hot that if you touch it, you will burn your fingers. It's like a hot stove. And I'm glad we've got Graham Athena and Live Event Texas out here, because if we were trying to do this off a phone, we'd never get it done.
And we'd have to restart.
So many times it wouldn't even be worth it for you guys. So thanks to him and thanks to the NBBA for giving our PR team the budget to put this together again.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And a nice line drive on the left, just inside third baseline as he runs for first, and it is out there. Nobody is even going after it. Might be called for a dead ball. So they are going to go out and check that. Perfect placement.
So we'll see what the umpire can and can't hear. We had a dead ball called last game that, as it turned out, was not dead.
It was a
faint beep. And I think this one, though, is dead, judging by the response from the Fire.
From the edge, yeah. They were clapping over it. Yep, it's going to come back to do again, so we're still maintaining our 7-7.
Nice to see we still have fresh, nice, good, loud balls here at this late stage.
See if we make it. Oh no, it made it all the way out to pitcher Pat, and it has now died.
Yeah, that was a great ball until it died.
Until Pat touched it. But,
That was sudden. That was sudden death, though. Usually you can tell when they're about to go. That one sounded like it was live as could be, and then the next thing you know, nothing. If you care to donate, these balls cost $37 a piece or thereabouts. You care to donate one, nbba.org/donate. You can donate one, you can donate as many as you want, but we'd really appreciate it.
Teacher, please donate more.
There you go. We love our teachers and wish they got paid more, really.
They're not happy with that ball. We're going to go for third time's the charm, possibly. I think the balls are scared when they hit the Honorable Pat Krause that they just stop beeping.
You think the judge has that effect on people?
I think the balls are a little scared.
So what's the penalty for a ball being held in contempt?
It's ejected.
Stick the pin back in it. Silence it forever.
Justin Rhines finally getting that base check.
We had a ball this morning that was the opposite. It wouldn't quit beeping even when we wanted it to. Stuck the pin in it, it wouldn't quit beeping.
Take it out behind the field.
That's when you chuck it in the woods.
There were no woods to be found.
And the cornfields were across the, well,
There was a parking lot behind them where they took it.
you could just throw it in the hole in the porta potty. That might shut it up pretty quick. It'd shut me up.
I'm trying to play. I'll just walk out.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Bouncing grounder foul. Still 7-7. Top of the second. Justin Rhines walking it back in after that foul hit. Say foul, not foul.
7-7. What did I miss here? I missed somebody's run. Before Silver was Hogwood. Yep, 7-7 it is. Rosina gets another one right.
And popping back foul among us.
Just to my left.
Hey, when you do hit a ball, you have to drop the bat.
I know. I just know it's foul.
His teammates giving Justin a hard time about still hanging on the bat after that hit.
You know, there is a breeze out, but it's not a cool one. It's like a blast furnace.
That's why I haven't mentioned it yet, because it's so hot.
Although it is a stiffer breeze than we've had, you know, most of the week.
today. And a nice grounder and just past Nick Mulher's feet, and Corion grabbing that up, backing his pal up.
Solid defense by the former Thunder standout, now turned Edge. He wants to play his former team tomorrow for all the marbles. And a good inning for the Edge defense. They gave up 2 that I counted.
And that's what I've got.
7-7 as we head to the bottom of the second.
Edge coming up for their at bat. Philly going back out into the Furnace Fire Pits fields to defend.
5, 6, and 1 due up for the Edge. Chesser, Wiley, and Mulheron.
Sean Walker still with a little bit of jump in his step as he heads out into short right.
Bless him.
Especially after all the running he did when he was in deep right against Jared's well-placed pitches.
Trying to think other hot, humid World Series. Of course, 08 in Houston. 05 wasn't as hot as 08. We were in Houston for that. 2000 in Taiwan. But it wasn't this hot. It was just as humid, I think. But it wasn't this hot. Columbus, Georgia was pretty hot and humid. But other than this and 08, I can't remember anything quite like. We've had heat, but we've got a heat index right now over 100 because even with the temperature in the 90s, the dew point is in the upper 70s, and I've even seen some lower 80s readings. That's Amazon rainforest territory. Okay, when you get a heat index anywhere near 80, plus you've got, this is going to sound nasty, but it's not, you got something called corn sweat around here, where the corn stalks, to try to keep themselves cool, let off some evaporation into the atmosphere, and we're close to cornfields, so that even enhances humidity in a specific location. So,
Ready, ball.
here we go.
Jeremy sending in Brandon to a nice line drive. Coughlin trying, and he's got it. Mike Coughlin for the putout in short left.
Coughlin playing Krause's position and played it well there. He's got a couple putouts. 1 down.
3 steps before Brandon was at first.
7-7. Now, if the Fire can limit them here, it's basically, now you're back to a brand new game.
Ja'Cory Wiley. Quick tap at home plate while bringing the bat up over the shoulder.
Ready, ball.
And just over the top of the bat.
Speaking of Houston, Wiley began his career with the Bayou City Heat and Fonzie Medrano.
Grounder over to Mike Coughlin again.
should have-
He's
he
fumbled
missed
out of his
that.
hands.
Nope.
And he's saying safe. He did not have it off his body.
And that's a play Casey Krause would have made. Absolutely. And Coughlin usually does. And he'll want that one back. He's a fiery competitor, and he's an excellent beat ball player. But now's not the time to start playing with your food.
Edge take that lead. It is now 8-7. Edge leading by 1 with Nick Mulhern starting the Edge lineup.
There was a lot of chatter on social media about the Mulhern tossing. He got ejected yesterday, and some of us don't think he
High pop up and deep
Did much.
into center right. There is
There it
nobody
is,
there.
nobody there.
He's just going to make a clean run, and he does.
That's a climb against that ball.
unbelievable.
Limping just a little bit when he slid. It looks like he's favoring his left knee. Can
That's-
ill afford to have an injury.
No, absolutely not. With Rodriguez already banged up, you don't want to lose anybody else, especially Mulhern. He's one of the, I'd say, top 10 all-around players in beat ball. He missed most of the season and showed up for the World Series, and he looks like he's in pretty good shape. And that was opposite field with power. There was nobody going to get to it. All he had to do was hit the base. Probably could have walked to it.
He probably just about could have. Corey White up at the plate, getting that base check.
Come on, Corey, liven things up a little. Go yard.
Cloud cover. Sun just went behind a small cloud.
That would be nice for about 30 seconds.
Pop up, foul.
Baby. You good, baby? I'm over here.
We have still not seen a home run on our Game of the Day stream since Justin Holland hit 2 in the championship games in 2022.
It's been a
They've
little
happened, but not for us. Corey's one who could do it. Y'all know that. He's got the most famous home run in the history of the sport. He swings through that one. In case you don't know, Corey White literally ended the 2021 World Series with a home run.
Another strike.
And in doing so, ended Kevin Simpson's legendary pitching career as he retired
That year.
immediately after and turned the reins over to one Jeremy Lopez.
Hey, move those feet, keep those feet moving. Sarah, ready, ball.
And taking a pass.
Stay together. Stay together.
And I have Corey White's home run jersey from that 21 championship game.
It's going to be a short little grounder. He almost ran to first, turned around, head back towards third. Mike Coughlin has it, and he is out.
He didn't play with that. He can't afford to with Corey. He picked it up right away.
Well, he did take a step and a half towards first, then had to correct towards third. Otherwise, he might have beat that out.
It's not ball, man.
Corey on White now at the plate.
Right here.
Still a 7-9 game. Edge leading by 2 at the bottom of the second.
They're just looking for that one last out.
I can be trained.
Base check is good. Jeremy's ready for the pitch.
Sarah, ready, ball.
And it's going to be a strike.
Come on, guys, come on, fire. Sarah, ready, ball.
High blasted out in. That's going to be foul, and that is a shame. That was out past Justin Rhines. Almost.
Not a prayer.
Almost would have, if that had been fair, could have been a possible home run.
We bonded like 30
Just got out early on it. Yanked it way
Taking
out
his
there.
time back,
Holy
getting a drink of water
cow.
on his walk back, or of Gatorade. Ball finally making its way back up to Jeremy.
Yep, if he had straightened that out, that would have counted for 2. And I don't think he's ever hit one before. think his brother has bragging rights on that. He's hit several, but Corian more known as like a line drive hitter and speed. He jacked that one.
Just catching his breath at home plate. Oh, winding that bat up, ready to go.
Sarah, ready, ball.
And popping foul.
Stay on it. Stay with him now.
Twisting right backwards.
Winner of this game will meet the Indy Thunder, who are back in the championship game after a 4-year absence. 3 seasons.
Sarah, ready, ball.
Gonna take a pass. Pulling that bat back up.
Sarah, ready, ball.
And just nicking as it rolls over the top.
This your one right here. Come on, stay together. Sarah, ready, ball.
And a line drive right through Coughlin's fingers. He slowed it down, though, and he's scrambling for it, and he's got it.
That's
Wonderful
excellent.
recovery for Mike Coughlin.
Now that is a Casey Krause type play over that shortstop position. Excellent play to shut it down and end the inning right there. Philly's still in it, 9-7 after 2. Philly coming to bat.
Going to head to the top of the third, and we are going to take that extended water break so that our teams can hydrate and rest a moment out of this unbearable heat. So let's hear from some of those sponsors who have helped make this World Series possible.
Blind Institute of Technology is proud to be a home run club sponsor for the National Beat Baseball Association World Series Game of the Day. Is your business stuck in a slump? Still struggling with outdated systems while the competition runs up the score? Step up to the plate with Blind Institute of Technology, the MVP behind equitable training and job placement, digital accessibility consulting, and Salesforce expertise. Through their federally registered apprenticeship program, BIT trains and places professionals with disabilities into high-impact Salesforce and digital accessibility roles, helping businesses build a stronger team, more accessible systems, and a culture that wins. Visit blindit.org and let's build a better lineup together. Vision Corps is proud to be a home run club sponsor for the National Beat Baseball Association World Series Game of the Day. Vision Corps hires with the belief that vision loss shouldn't be a barrier to personal and economic independence. Join a championship caliber team with Vision Corps. We offer remote and on-site positions with our professional service department. Get started by emailing jobs@visioncorps.net. Austin Lighthouse is proud to be a fan club sponsor for the National Beat Baseball Association World Series Game of the Day. Stepping up to the plate for Texans. For 50 years, Austin Lighthouse has been the MVP for Texans who are blind or visually impaired, helping them step up to the plate and build careers, develop skills, and live independently. With over 50% of our workforce being blind or visually impaired, we're proving that with the right coaching and teamwork, everyone can knock it out of the park. From job training, our spring training for success, to assistive technology, the high-tech gear that levels the playing field, Austin Lighthouse is all about creating opportunities and access because everyone deserves a fair shot at the big leagues. Every donation is like a walk-off hit, providing tools, training, and hope to those who need it most. Visit austinlighthouse.org to learn more.
Thank you for those sponsors and everyone who helps make this week happen. And we also want to say thank you to our NBBA officials. We have tournament director Cassie Hopkins, and what a wonderful job she has done. Also the tournament assistants Jamie Simpson, Cameron Simpson, Katie Mathena. We have our equipment director and crew Glenn Hopkins and Knox Ward. our head umpire Jason Price, as well as umpires Jaden Price, Kemp Price, John Lykowski, Mike Woodward, Dave Taylor, Jordan Simpson, David Robert, Austin Hawkins, and Jason Blakenmeyer. Head scorekeeper Karen Lykowski, and scorekeepers Sylvia Redmond, Missy Lykowski, Linda Skaggs, Ronnie Higdon, Peggy Hurt Franks, Trisha Cramp, Melanie Taylor, Bradley Farmer, and Christina Heppen. Our media specialist John Lykowski Jr. all over the fields everywhere, getting those pictures that you all love for our calendars and media spotlights on the social media pages. Also, Graham Mathena Production, which is doing this live stream that David Benny and myself, Rosina Foster, are bringing the game alive to you wherever you may be.
We couldn't do it without our volunteers, officials, umpires, scorekeepers, executive committee, the NBBA executive committee as it stands right now until the new terms take over in a couple of weeks. President Richie Flores, first vice president and tournament director Cassie Hopkins, second vice president and PR director, that's yours truly, Secretary Steve Guerra, he'll be serving another term, nobody ran against him, treasurer John Lykowski. And then you've got of course, our immediate past president, former NBBA president Jerry Wendell. He's been helping provide score updates and stuff for us to information to give you here on these streams. And head umpire or umpire in chief, Jason Price. So those are just some of the people that a lot of times are behind the scenes and you don't hear a lot about, other than me, of course, because I'm blah blah blahing for you all day with Rosina, but they do a great job, and I want to say a quick word on behalf of my friend and colleague Cassie Hopkins, who has been our tournament director since taking over in a pinch last minute in 2022 following a change in leadership. All she did was have to work through Beaumont, where games had to be rescheduled by rain. Work through Norman, Oklahoma in 2023, where games had to reschedule for heat. Last year worked out pretty well with weather, and then this year with the heat again. She's the first one to the field, the last one to leave. The membership of the NBBA has elected to vote her out of office and vote in coach of the Indy Thunder, Darnell Booker. And so she will be expected to hand over the reins of tournament director here in a couple of weeks. She has been my right arm for the last few years. I couldn't have done it without her, and I sure appreciate her. And I think I can speak for a lot of us, many of us who are not on social media, that are, silent but appreciative. So she's made a mark on the league, and I'm sure she will continue in whatever role she chooses to assume. But the membership has spoken, and that's that. As we get ready to the third.
Heading into the top of the third, it is a 9-7 game. Edge leading, Philly up to bat. Field Edge has already taken defensive stance, and there's a little bit another cloud that the sun has just stepped behind. I'm glad it waited until after the water break. That way at least some of this might be, a whole minute might be played in relative peace.
And we are at some point during the championship game, and traditionally we always invite the league president in for a half an inning, but I'm also going to offer Cassie the opportunity, if she wants to come in and speak to our fans, followers, members, and maybe do a half inning of commentary with us. She's done it before, and this was before Rosina's time, but Cassie's done just about everything. She was social media specialist. Then she was public relations director before Richie and myself, and then she was tournament director. Once she was PR director and tournament director at the same time for a week. And so we'll give her that opportunity if she wishes tomorrow.
pop up from Mike Coughlin as it drops in right field as he's running for first, and they're not going to have it in time, and that is a run for Mike Coughlin, taking the Fire only one down from the edge. Now an 8-9 game at the top of the third with John Margist headed up to the plate.
Coughlin making a contribution on both sides of the ball here today. Coughlin was an all-star 3 years ago, actually 2 years in a row, selection to our showcase. He made it the first time, wasn't able. He was among only 5 out of 34 that we had in 2023 that couldn't make the trip. And then he was injured last year. Technically was a member of the Indy Thunder roster, was Mike Coughlin, but didn't play much, and now he's back with a vengeance this year. Now Margist. He's been an all-star all 3 years since we started doing it. And I suspect he probably will be this year, too.
Pop up almost straight up. Let's see if that is going to be fair. And he's running for third. They're just now getting him, but he's at the bases and tumbles over third, taking it apart, tumbling sideways. Scott Hogwood coming to back him up as it is now a tied 9-9 game at the top of the third.
Perfectly placed ball. I thought that thing might hit and spin back foul, but it did not. And Mike Woodard went out a little bit. He was all over it, right on top of it. And that's a perfect, I mean, that's a long way to have to come, and you have to wait for it to land first.
John Margis hollering to his bench to keep it going.
You track it while it's in the air is the idea. So you use your spotter's call and you charge, but then you can't make a play on it till it lands, really.
Short left. Nick Mulheron coming up.
Nick's
Looks
got
like
this.
He's troubling with his. And he does have him, but he was a little bit slow there. It looked like he was favoring his knee again. Still, yep, he is still favoring that left knee.
So that's what I talk about when I talk about a war of attrition. It's not in the negative, as in, you know, that they're not very good, but these teams have been, and players have been attrited, as I say, throughout the week, to the point now where a lot of them are playing hurt, and a couple of big names aren't even playing at all.
They are beat, they are battled, they are definitely bruised, but they are still out here giving it their all. And up next is Nick Silver.
Set, ready, pitch.
And it's going to go just underneath the swing.
Nick with a run and a strikeout today.
Jordan says she's going to the game. But she's so tired already. So she wants to
Set,
go.
ready, pitch.
And just underneath the bat.
So let's say 7 p.m. and then she was like, what do you do tonight? It's more the championship game. I said, well, it's really
Getting a little correction from Pat.
Set, ready, pitch.
And taking a pass.
If we get everything broken down
Now you're ready, here we go.
tonight.
Well, they already are. All the fields are.
No, I'm saying overall probably they
Set,
turn on.
ready, pitch.
And it's going to go just underneath for a strike. Full
All right,
count.
full count now. They've gone as far as they can go in this at-bat.
I'm going to hold for this large truck.
Set, ready, pitch.
And that's going to be a strikeout for Nick Silver. Cesar
Second
Lozcano.
strikeout of the game for Nick, and that's not what you want. I thought maybe he'd be a little fresher in this one, but he's 1 for 3. He has scored once, and Lozcano, he's been turning the lineup, and this will be again. Now you're tied. You're in the top of the third. Edge have the last at-bats. It's late in the week. You're tired. But if you can score a run here, you give them the lead, and you bring the meat of their batting order back around. If you don't, you leave a window open for the Edge.
Set, ready, pitch.
And like any breeze, the Edge will take that open window and fly.
Yeah, they very well could. So a couple of runs here would be ideal.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Pop up deep into center
shot.
behind everyone as Cesar runs for third.
He's got it.
And even Miguel not getting there in time. That will be a run, and the Fire takes the lead. 10-9, top of the third.
Where was this guy against the Thunder? He came in late, and I think he scored. He did. He replaced Sean Walker, and then he scored. But boy, he's popping the ball. That's a big run. 10-9 Philly.
Nice placement, a nice little hole back there. Give him plenty of time. Justin Rhines.
I have Rhines 3 for 3. I don't think they've retired him yet.
First play. Good.
Now, with 2 outs, any more you can get is gravy.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And low, and it's going to be a bouncing grounder. Nick Milheron having to come up. Those knees are not going as well. He's scrambling to get the ball, and that is going to be a run. Now a 2-run lead with Justin Rhines taking it 11-9 at the top of the third.
Earlier in the week, that'd have been a great foot race, and Mulheron probably comes up with that. Ryan's one of the quicker Fire players. He doesn't look like he's slowing down much, and Mulheron is. He's fighting it, man. He's fighting it hard.
He's favoring that leg, trying to wait till the last possible minute to go down, and it is showing.
They do have options of people who can play that position, but, you know, other than Miguel Tello, who can probably play everywhere, and you can't lose his bat either, man. We'll just see. He's going to play. He's going to play until he can't play anymore.
Mike Coughlin.
And I've been there before. I've been in these games late in the week. I know how it is. I just don't know that I ever played one this way late in the week in this kind of temperatures.
Ready. Pitch.
Now rolling off the top of the
Go
bat.
here, kid. What do you say?
We'll wait for this large golf cart on our left. And they're asking to hold the ball up.
Had a history of having that one anyway, so.
Pat waiting for some of the traffic on the road. Defense saying they're fine, they're ready. Pat trying to give them plenty of time.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And catch on the very tip of that and popping up. Nick Milheron coming up on that. It's really tight. He's jumped on it and he's safe.
Oh.
Nick jumped on top of that, rolled over, but he didn't have it up off of his body apparently.
You gotta have it off your body, and sometimes it's tough, but any way you can do it, whether you have to wriggle your position, and I've had plays where I collected it, you know, squeezed between my legs and had to reach around to get it, because it has to be in your hands. And crook of the elbow isn't off your body either. I found that out once trying to make a play where my elbow was on the ground, but I had the ball secured in the crook of my elbow, and they didn't give it to me.
So
Gotta
the
be in the hand.
12-9 game, top of the third. Don Margist.
Hey, the Fire are working on a nice inning here.
And now we're going to wait for another motorcycle.
I mean, they've only scored 3, but they've done it all with 2 outs. They needed it. No, they scored more than that. Hold on,
got
Rosanna.
5 on the board
They got
right now.
5. It was just 9-7 game. So they've got scored 5, and 3 of them, the last 3 have been with two outs.
2 outs. They are on the verge.
Whew.
And just, oh, see, I heard a nick on that, but that was called a strike.
Well, either way, foul tip or strike, it would have been strike 1 anyway. The only time that comes into play is on 3 strikes. You can't strike out on a foul ball.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Pop up into
good
that
hit.
pocket over there in center right, and he tackles and takes out first as they widen that gap, 13-9.
Hey, they might want to move somebody over and close that gap up a little bit, that pocket, because Pat seems to keep finding it. And this is turning into a very big inning now. And now it might be the Edge that needs to make a play on defense, because you don't want to lose contact, neither team. Not at this point. Not with players playing on, some of them running on fumes, some of them banged up. It's hard to come back if you get down in a situation like this. Edge have last at bats, but now we got 13-9, 6 in the inning.
Hogwood.
Hogwood has home run power. I've just never witnessed him do it.
Getting a new ball into play.
But I think if Hogwood gets one on the right spot on the bat with a full swing, I don't see any reason why he couldn't hit at 170. Now, in this heat and humidity, though, it's a little bit tougher to hit home runs than it would be if it was like the dry heat we had in Norman. We had a bunch of them that year in Norman.
That was a lot.
And the balls were hot, and they were getting baked, and they were flying better, and it was dry heat, so the air was a little bit thinner. Going to take a lot to get one out here.
Ready. Pitch.
And it's going to be a grounder just past Nick as he jumps on the ground for it. They're scrambling. Miguel's running after it. Scott tumbles over third, pops right up. Fist out. And that takes them 14-9, bringing it back around to Nick Silver.
Boy, they're tired champions, but they're still champions, I'll tell you. Philly Fire showing an incredible amount of resilience here without their unquestioned best player out of the game.
A very short break between games.
And absolutely.
After a long, brutal game.
The Edge and Archers finished well before ours did, so the Edge got a little more of a break. Now that's all relative, because I don't know that they got to go and sit in any air conditioning anywhere, but maybe they stayed under their tent until the last minute. They had to move fields and move over here. The Fire didn't have to do that. At least they got to stay where they were.
Nick Silver after a couple tosses with Pat.
Silver 1 for 3. He scored his first time and struck out his last 2. First base is a little bit softer than third, so we're going to try to do some shop and see if sometimes the speaker gets dented in and they got to get it back out. The first base sounds pretty faint. As we play here in the top of the third.
Yeah, a little bit louder there.
Yeah, that helped a little. Still not as loud as third, though, but here we go.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Right back here to our table. Pat asking Nick to show him his swing.
I wouldn't even mention 2021 if I knew he was on the stream.
Nice
There's a
line
hit.
drive right to Nick. It's bounced over his feet back over to Corian. Corian has grabbed it, and that is out by Corian White. Trying to ebb the tide that the Fire created there as we now go to the bottom of the third. Fire are leading 14-9.
That was a good play, and we'll go to the bottom of the third. And yeah, I would not have mentioned 2021 or anything about that if I knew that my longtime friend and pitcher and former play-by-play announcer, and I don't know, I would spend about an hour and a half rattling off accolades. Kevin Simpson down in San Antonio. Graham just spilled the beans that you are tuned in and watching. Appreciate it. If we sound tired and hot, it's because we are. We thought there was a chance this game would be moved back to 6 o'clock. It was not. And we haven't had lunch. So.
Way the cookie list crumbles. Since we have not had lunch or cookies.
No soup for us. Although I did have a good bowl of chicken noodle last night. And I'm going to probably have one again tonight to get this instrument, which hopefully sounds okay to y'all. In my ears, it sounds like I'm about at 80%. But I'll tell you what, I don't know about Rosina, but I was fighting it harder last year for whatever reason. So we'll get through this.
Well, the one positive for all the moisture in the air is that I guess it is good for the throat.
Well, that's true.
At least the dry air isn't cooking our lungs.
And we had dry air last year, but it wasn't as hot. It was beautiful here last year. We lucked out in St. Louis in late July. It was it's like in the 80s. And
yeah, it was a luck last
sometimes sunny, sometimes we had some clouds, but like no rain. At least that I can recall.
Grant Simpson for the Edge. Again, it's 14-9. Bottom of the third. No outs for the Edge.
Grant played 1 year with the Bayou City Heat.
High pop up, and that was going to be foul and almost caught by our third base umpire.
Grant broke in as a rookie last year, was rookie of the year, and so got invited to the All-Star Showcase, and then promptly right after that, Lupe Perez went and took him and brought him to the Edge. And Bayou City, I know they finished out of the top 8 this year. They were going to be somewhere 9 through 12.
Catching a tip.
All the rankings went topsy-turvy this year. I mean, who knew that BCS was going to beat New Jersey yesterday morning and beat them soundly? Beat them, I think they said 13-5.
Line drive over to Mike Coughlin's dropped down. It's popped over his body. And Scott Hogwood coming over, but he is going to be safe.
Oh, my.
Now Edge are into the double digits as it's a 14-10 game.
Some of these plays would get made. And I'll tell you who's not going to wear out, though, Jeremy Lopez. He got broke in on this his first year as a pitcher when the Jets lost to the Blackhawks on Wednesday afternoon in a quarterfinal. Came back, won one that got suspended, and then had to win like 4 on Friday. They had to win the last half of the suspended game because of all that rain they got in Beaumont, and then rattled off all 3 on Friday and came back and placed second. So, I mean, he's used to this.
He's in it for the long haul.
Sure, and he don't look like he's slowed down at all. Look at this.
Pop up, short into center. They're going to have
Fair
to come
ball.
Coughlin and John Walker also coming up, and he is safe.
Not on Friday, you don't.
14-11.
Yeah, if they think we're making it to Busch Stadium at 7 o'clock tonight, they got another thing coming.
Corey Wiley coming up to the plate.
You might get there before they stop selling beer.
I think I'm up for a shower and dinner.
I agree with you. I wanted to go to that, but as the way the cookies did not crumble.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded hearing a game called.
Yeah, they're doing audio described, which is not what you think of play-by-play. 2 strikes. What it is some of the things that blind folks might miss if we're sitting out in the stands, if they're doing the wave, if there's stuff on the big board. Mascot Redbird what is his name? It's not Redbird, it's whatever.
It's a cardinal.
Fred Bird. That's it, Fred Bird.
Ready, ball.
And it's going to be a low grounder over to Coughlin. He stopped it, and he's got his hands on it, and that is going to be an out for Mike Coughlin. Still 14-11, bottom of the 3rd.
Well, Coughlin's making some plays he's supposed to make, and he's not making some plays he would usually make. We got a 3-run game here.
Nick Mulhern up.
As we are past the
They're
4 o'clock
asking him
hour.
if he is able.
So this game was supposed to start at 2, and we're about an hour and a half into it now, and we're still in the 3rd inning.
Here we go.
And now the wind that we had earlier is stagnant, and we got nothing now.
Ready, ball.
10. In fact, the only real cool breeze I can remember was on Tuesday afternoon when it almost stormed, but then didn't.
And then, yep.
Well, we were sitting here listening to
could
thunder
hear
in the
some
distance, but we didn't feel a drop of rain. But then I guess it did pour here after we left.
There were a few.
We must have been living right, because by the time I got to the hotel across the river in Missouri, it was sunny. And so I can maybe guess it was pouring here, and it was sunny there. We didn't even get hit on the way home. I don't know what happened.
I got hit on the way home.
Did you?
Ready, ball.
And it's going to be a grounder on the left. Coughlin coming up, and he's got to get a hold of it though. His body's on it, but he did not have control of it.
Yep, we're playing with our food again.
14-12. The Edge are pulling closer to that lead that the Fire worked so hard to get. Corey White.
Start over. We're good.
Well, there goes those rosters.
Set the tone, Nick. Come on, Corey.
So on top of everything else, I just spilled about a half a bottle of water all over this Braille, and Braille and water don't mix. Well, those won't even be souvenirs anymore now.
Ready, ball.
Strike, because that goes underneath the outer edge of the bat.
Anybody got a Braille embosser around here somewhere? I gotta print out some new rosters.
Well, the Lighthouse might.
Yeah, that's only about 45 minutes away across the metro.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, somehow I doubt they're gonna stay open late for me tonight. They'll all be at the Cardinals game. Well deserved. We appreciate LHB of St. Louis.
And a short little grounder. Mike's going to have to come
Coughlin
way
again.
up
Don't
on
play
it.
with it,
He's
Cogs. Don't play with it.
And he is out. He did get it. Just barely got that.
Well, that was close, but Cogs got it up, according to Mike Woodard.
It's going to be Corian now coming up to the plate.
Two.
I don't know what happened with Corey there, but he didn't seem to get to the base as fast as, because I thought he was going to score. I didn't think Cogs was going to get up to that. Corey must have not been running all out down the baseline. All right, so now Corian's got a chance to prove he's faster. No, he overturned the call. See?
So they're saying safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
He still was slow, but
Turn the page. Here we go.
That's the run. Yeah.
oh, no, we're not making it. Jerry Wendell, who is rarely wrong except on some field assignments sometimes. LOL, Jerry. Jerry tells me the Cardinals game is at 6:15 tonight. So unless you got a helicopter waiting in the parking lot, uh-oh.
Pop up.
That's got
into
good
the
air.
Center and past Scott Hogwood.
Oh, forget it.
And he's going to be safe as well.
All right, Corian was faster that time to the base than Corey. It really depends on who you ask which one's faster, but he was definitely faster than Corey. They both scored, but his doesn't have to be reviewed.
So now that should be tied. Again, 14-14.
You hit, you caught. Start it up again, G. What?
Grant Simpson. And it looks like we might be getting another ball.
Yes, today has been expensive. Mike Woodard's right about that. We've gone through a lot of balls, and they cost approximately $37 a piece. So if you care to help us out, well, all we do is based on donations and sponsorships. So even if it's just $37, I don't care if we do it the Bernie Sanders way. $37 a person, nbba.org/donate. Because we started the week with 250 balls plus 50 in reserve. And we're getting down. We've got balls saved for the championship game, but we were getting down to the nitty-gritty this morning.
And it's going to be a strike on Grant Simpson.
So do the math, you know. What's 37 times? No, I'm not even going to try out here, but this is...
And it's going again, short lap. Mike had jumped on it. It's past him. Justin coming up on it. That's going to be a run for Grant as the Edge now takes the lead. 15-14.
15-14, and this is a seesaw affair. I said, man, it's either going to come down to who gets tired first and just wears out, or it's going to come down to who has the last at bat, which in this case is the Indy Edge. So now here we are. You know, it was 16-15 in our last game after 2. Now it's 15-14. We're still trying to get this third out here in the bottom of the third.
Brandon Chesser. And just barely touching it.
So yeah, it's a lot of money. That's like almost $20,000.
And it's going over to right this time. Past Sean Walker. Nick Silver trying to grab a hold of that. And
Nick Silver.
Nick Silver for the putout.
All right. Didn't mean to sound so surprised, but
That will bring
he
Jacory
made the
up
play.
to the plate.
And that is only the second out. So like,
Yeah, because that one was reversed.
that one was reversed. Well, there's more water. I lost a cap a long time ago, and I've spilled my water for the second time. So, and there ain't nobody at this facility that's going to give me mouth-to-mouth if I fall out, so I got to stay on my feet in my chair. Oh, thank you. Now I've got a new water, so I can hopefully not spill this one.
Still adjusting first base. Jacory Wiley up for the Edge. 14-15, bottom of the third. Edge leading.
Fire might want to think about getting this last out and getting back under the 10. This ain't the first time they've been out there forever.
Strike as that goes under the bat.
The Thunder dropped 11 on them in one inning and 13 on them in another.
Another strike as it goes under the bat again. Swinging a little hard. Spinning around just a bit.
Hey, Lascano, is he out there or is he DH? Yeah, he's out there.
No, Sean Walker is in
isn't.
for him.
Okay, Walker is, oh, wow.
And that is going to be that out. The anger there rolling off of Jeremy as he tosses his face mask.
Not bad, though. Well, we're halfway through this game, which is already an hour and a half old, but we really have nothing decided. Edge by 1, Fire coming up.
Fire coming in to take their at-bat. Edge getting some needed drinks and towels across their faces to wipe some of that sweat off before they head on out into the field, which they are now doing. Again, thank you to all our volunteers running water back and forth, scorekeepers, base operators, base judges, people making sure that we have balls run from field to field, spare bases, all the volunteers that help to make this game possible. A great big shout out to all of you wherever you may be and whatever job you are doing out on to make this work.
We couldn't do it without you. And I'm going to mention it one time, and then I'm never going to mention the 2025 NBBA elections again. Congratulations to the winners announced last night. Your new first vice president and tournament director, Darnell Booker. Your secretary unopposed, Steve Guerra. He's scary. Nobody even wanted to run against him, man. Or maybe there's just nobody else that can do that job. I know I can't. Board of directors, we had 5 of them up for election. Darren Keepers wins a second term. Christina Smurs from the Comets wins a second term. David Smith from the Indy Thunder for now, but hopefully it'll be maybe San Antonio Jets again down the road. He wins a second term. And then first term elected board members, Bree Taylor from the Austin Blackhawks in Sports Vision 2020, good for her. And David Sanchez, a.k.a. Sanchez of the Boston Renegades, and maybe soon of a team from Puerto Rico. I forget what he said that their team name is down there, but they're trying to build something in PR.
Well, they have had a couple players come up from Puerto Rico and play on. I know at least Bayou City Heat has had at least one of those players, and I think another team did as well.
Including a female with an excellent swing we saw in the Wool game on Monday.
Swing.
Once she gets it down, consistency, and has herself a pitcher, she could be another Kalari maybe.
She's going to be a powerhouse, that is for sure.
And when I think of powerful Wool hitters in this league, Kalari's the first one that comes to mind. When you think of speed, of course, Hillary.
I also think of Faith Penn as a power hitter.
Yep, she can poke it, but I think that this slate, and I wish she's got she's got several surnames, so I can't remember her name, but I think she's in a different league once she gets the hang of it. I shouldn't leave Dakota Hogwood from the Philly Fire out, too. She can poke it a little bit, too.
Set, ready, pitch.
And high pop-up going to be short, right? Let's see if that stays fair. It looks like it is. Ja'Cory coming up on top of that, but he is safe.
Oh, if Ja'Cory... Wow, and,
Back to another tie game, 15-15, top of the fourth.
Yeah, Philly's not going anywhere. They're in it for the 15 rounds, and I'm going to say 15 because this doesn't feel like a 12er right now. Oh, my goodness. And Ja'Cory, that's a play. He can make that.
It was almost that corner coffin there. It was up tight.
Yeah, he can make that on any given day, but on a Friday afternoon.
World Series playing all week, playing all day.
And the Edge were deeper earlier in the week, So there's been issues with. I'm surprised I don't see it. Speaking of young guys, Caleb Wright, but it sounds like he's been struggling at the plate a little bit. So they don't have Caleb in here. They don't have. I'm not seeing Joe Fleeks in the game. Of course, Erod is out with that knee.
Yeah, they are all sitting over there. Just none of them are in. So there's going to be Justin Rhines coming up. Again, we are tied again.
And maybe some of this is strategic. Do what you have to do to win, but you gotta have to win 2 tomorrow. But for somebody, there is no tomorrow.
Set, ready, pitch.
Just underneath the bat.
we'll have another 5-minute water break at the end of the fourth, and we will.
And it's going to go short and foul on the right.
We'll have another water break at the end of the fourth, and so we will show some love to our sponsors at that point. They usually have one water break that is optional. Today we have 2 that are mandatory because at least one coach has asked for it.
And it also appears that Justin Rhines
And the
earlier
umpire needs it too. So
in the game was wearing his orange headband. Now he's wearing his green and purple eye headband. So he has swapped that out at some point.
wonder what that represents. Wonder if there's some luck in there. Some. Uh-oh.
Short pop up. That's going to
Foul.
be foul. Pat catching that.
Got it out the wrong part of the bat, it sounded like there, I guess.
All right, Ryan, you're on every time. Here we go.
Justin sighing as he comes back around to the other side of the plate for another bat.
And also, after the fourth, I'll confirm with Cassie exactly what the schedule is for Championship Saturday. I know they're moving the Hall of Fame ceremony to the banquet. I wish they wouldn't do that, but
And it's going
they
to be a
did.
grounder. Nick laying down on it. And
Pick
this
it up.
time he's got a
There it
hold of it,
is.
and that's going to be an out. Nick Milhern.
Yeah, it was room service.
He did not have to go very far for that. Just laying down and pulling it up. Mike Coughlin for the Fire. Still sitting at a tied game, 15-15 at the top of the fourth.
Yeah, this is a fascinating game, all things considered. I just feel like if the Fire don't get a couple here, I just feel like the Edge could, and Lopez could hang a 10 spot on them at any
At
time.
the end, yeah.
I mean, I
Finish
saw
him
him
off.
score 28 against a Thunder defense that maybe isn't as good as it was in their championship years, but it's pretty good.
Lefty Mike Coughlin. And a little bit low, catching the edge of it.
As one of the few golf carts still rolling around this facility. We're the only game in town now. Of course, everything else is wrapped up.
And had a bouncing grounder right over to Nick again by his legs, and he's got a hold of that again. Another Nick Milhern.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to miss those. What's bothering him is when you make him move. If you don't make him move much, he's still going to get down there and get it up. But just like kind of what we saw with Eric yesterday, when you make him move, especially laterally, he's having trouble. Is that 2 outs?
That is John Marr just coming up to the plate. Nick with both of those out.
Yeah, they need a couple more. The Edge have the hammer. And unless Lopez isn't striking people out like crazy, he never does. But unless he starts, I don't see the Fire being able to hang a 3-up, 3-down inning.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
Just over the swing.
Here we go. The Honorable Pat Krause ready to bring it in again.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
High pop up
Shot.
way out there by Corian and Miguel Tello running for that, but he is safe. And the Fire once again take the lead by 1, 16-15.
Not even Tello's getting that, man. So that breaks the deadlock. Fire back on top.
They are with 2 outs, and Scott Hogwood coming up to the plate as Johnny Ma heads across the middle of the field, coming back up and now correcting back over to his bench. And that heat has now sun poked back out from around that cloud that it was briefly playing peekaboo in, and now out to.
And I would tell you
torment us.
who's spotting out there for the edge, but I'm not sure. I didn't recognize the voice of one of those spotters.
Let's see, I believe it is Lisa Gilchrist is
One of them is Lisa. Who's the other one over there?
Is, I have no idea who that is. Might be Catherine Perez.
Oh, it probably is Kat. You know what? You know what? Is it?
I have right now.
Let's
I have
see
Nick
here.
standing between me and them. So.
In the on-deck circle, hoping he can get an at-bat. Maybe Hogwood can save him one.
No, I'm Nick Mulhern out there,
Oh.
and she's right behind.
Yeah,
and so I can't
wrong
really
team.
see. It's a Nick, just a different Nick.
Yeah, wrong Nick. My bad, Mulhern. Although who's in the on-deck circle?
That is Nick Silver.
Okay,
Yes.
so I was inadvertently correct.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And popping it off into short left center. Nick trying to go after that, and he's got it. He did get in place. Nick Mulhern, all 3 outs for that inning for the Edge. Hat trick for him as he brings the rest of the team in, and we move to the bottom of the 4th. Fire leading by 1, 16-15 game.
Yes, sir. 16-15 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Okay, so it's not man. They're going to ask again. So they took it in the 2nd, but he's going to ask again if either coach wants it in the after 4. I suspect the Fire will take it.
Oh, no, it's Mike Malloy.
No.
They're spotting.
No, that's not Mike Malloy.
They're wearing Mark.
Mike Malloy. No, Mike Malloy's a blind dude.
They're wearing his jersey.
Yeah. All right, somebody wearing Mike Malloy.
Somebody who's swimming in his jersey.
I wonder if that's. Is that
It's
Reese,
not Cat.
maybe?
It's not Cat.
No, that's not Cat. That's
Yeah,
a
it's
dude,
definitely
right?
not. No, it is a girl.
Oh, it's a girl.
Set the tone, Nick.
Wearing a.
Wearing
Just wearing a
Mike's-
dude's jersey.
Wearing Mike's
Wearing
jersey.
Mike's jersey. Oh.
Edge coming up to bat, and this is Nick. Had all 3 of those outs, and now he's up to bat. Bottom of the 4th. They trail the Fire by 1 as the Fire out in the field sounding off to rejuvenate with that 1-run lead.
Let's play. Set the tone, Nick. Let's start with you, baby.
I wonder if that's Melinda Best.
Set. Ready, ball.
Oh, and Jeremy jumping over that ball to keep it fair as it runs right up the middle. Scott's going to have to come up further than that. It's too late. Nick with a run, and we are back tied again, 16-16.
They're having a little fun with. All of a sudden, in the middle of this week, they really tightened up the restrictions on language on the field to the point where we had 2 different high-profile players get kicked out of 2 different games yesterday for some magic words.
Magic being
And
used
then
loosely.
One that certainly maybe could have today because it sounded a lot like, and I think that was a play on words. I think that it was P-I-T-C-H, but it didn't come off that way, and the ump left it alone. But it's been interesting to say the least.
Corey White as we have a ball and held up by Jeremy. And
Come on,
our
Corey.
Sun
Go.
behind the cloud again.
Go yard. I mean, if we're going to be out here doing this and bringing these games and no Cardinal game tonight, come on, Corey.
They're reholding the ball
Lose
up,
one.
asking for a new one. That is
Maybe they're saving it for tomorrow. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we'll see a long ball tomorrow.
In the championship game, that would be great.
That's the cream of the crop right there.
There was not one last year in the championship game, nor was there one in 23. Yeah, the last one would have been, the last two would have been both Justin Holland. We had two of them in the same game, which is crazy.
Set the tone, Corey. Let's start with
Corey with a slow exhale.
And not even Corey's done that. He's done a lot of things. He hasn't hit two in a game.
It's one strike.
In fact, the only one besides Holland I know of to hit 2 home runs in a game, didn't do it at the World Series, did it in Bolingbrook last year, and that's that Caleb Wright I was talking about.
Over the top of the bat, another strike.
Except Caleb did it against the Comets, and he did it in back-to-back at bats. He's over there sitting on their bench.
ready, ball.
And rolling off right into the catcher's mitt.
Zion Prince hit a home run for the Archers today, his first of his career. He's like 19. He's good-looking prospect, man. Blue chipper for sure.
Taking a pass.
So that would be 4 home runs on the week now.
And that's going to be a strike. Corey strikeout.
Hey, that's not good. That's two strikeouts in the game now for Corey. Huh?
Shaking that off, and Corian comes up. Still tied 16-16. And going foul, rolling and twisting off the top of the bat. Resetting up along home plate. And a nice pop up in mid left as they're scrambling for that. And that's going to be a run as Edge now retakes the lead by 1. It's just kind of a back and forth trading quips with the Edge and the Fire, and Grant Simpson standing on the center of home plate. Corian walking up very slowly from third.
Set the tone, Grant, and start with you, baby.
Conserving every drop of energy.
And I just got a notification from the ballpark in St. Louis just teasing us about everything great that's going on tonight that we'll never see. Yeah. I'll show you after the game. That's unbelievable. Thanks a lot.
Ready, ball.
Nice grounder right to Mike Coughlin. He's laying down, it's at his chest, and he's got it, and that is an out for Mike Coughlin.
Hey, two in the wagon!
And Jeremy asking for a new ball.
Yeah, so guys, in case you're listening back at the hotel or somewhere around St. Louis and you were planning to go to the Cardinals game, I'm going to correct what I said earlier. That's not 7. You get there at 7, you'll get there in like the 3rd inning. That's a 6:15. 6:15 start for those of you that are going.
And they just brought it to us.
Brandon Chesser stepping up to the plate after that out from Mike Coughlin.
Well, now we're using, wow, it seems like we're using recycled balls here.
4.
Sorry.
As
A couple of these that we just brought.
Blue calls for some new balls because the ones that they just brought over aren't game worthy. You know, we could use donations, of course, but we could also, if you know anybody wants to join the ranks of producers of beat baseballs,
Greatly appreciated.
you know, because here's the thing. If we don't resolve the equipment issue, we're not going to have a game to play.
Play
And
without any balls.
you know, one of the best things that Blake Boudreau did in his administration was right away hit the ground running with an initiative for Fonzie Madrano to start making these balls. You know, but he's only one, and that got us through. Had he not started producing balls, we might not have had a World Series in 2021 in Wichita. But this was not supposed to be a forever solution. And here we are in 2025, 8 years later.
Still struggling.
Still struggling. And we love Fonzie. We appreciate all he's doing. And maybe he just needs some hands on deck. So, you know, if you're interested in trying to make beat balls.
Ready, ball.
Just under the bat.
You know, there is bases being taken with Booker. Brought a set of wireless bases with him this week that sounded pretty good. I know the people in St. Louis have been using bases that they made themselves, and Darren Keeper's out in California. So the base issue seems to be advancing. But Taiwan came, and Taiwan can't get, you know, they're having trouble getting balls back home, too.
Ready, ball.
And just barely staying alive.
I figured they'd be making their own and maybe want to sell to us, but they want balls as bad as we do. Oh,
and
there's a shot.
Nice line drive right to the left center. And, beautiful by Justin Ryan sliding over there to back him up, sliding right in front of that and scooping it up. And that is going to be an out.
Style points, man. A slide and scoop and left, deep left from Rhines.
So closing out the fourth at 17-16 before we have our 5-minute water break on this game that we all love so much. And speaking of love, we love our sponsors.
Blind Institute of Technology is proud to be a home run club sponsor for the National Beat Baseball Association World Series Game of the Day. Is your business stuck in a slump? Still struggling with outdated systems while the competition runs up the score? Step up to the plate with Blind Institute of Technology, the MVP behind equitable training and job placement, digital accessibility consulting, and Salesforce expertise. Through their federally registered apprenticeship program, BIT trains and places professionals with disabilities into high-impact Salesforce and digital accessibility roles, helping businesses build a stronger team, more accessible systems, and a culture that wins. Visit blindit.org and let's build a better lineup together. Vision Corps is proud to be a home run club sponsor for the National Beat Baseball Association World Series Game of the Day. Vision Corps hires with the belief that vision loss shouldn't be a barrier to personal and economic independence. Join a championship caliber team with Vision Corps. We offer remote and on-site positions with our professional service department. Get started by emailing jobs@visioncorps.net. Austin Lighthouse is proud to be a fan club sponsor for the National Beat Baseball Association World Series Game of the Day. Stepping up to the plate for Texans. For 50 years, Austin Lighthouse has been the MVP for Texans who are blind or visually impaired, helping them step up to the plate and build careers, develop skills, and live independently. With over 50% of our workforce being blind or visually impaired, we're proving that with the right coaching and teamwork, everyone can knock it out of the park. From job training, our spring training for success, to assistive technology, the high-tech gear that levels the playing field, Austin Lighthouse is all about creating opportunities and access because everyone deserves a fair shot at the big leagues. Every donation is like a walk-off hit, providing tools, training, and hope to those who need it most. Visit austinlighthouse.org to learn more.
know from them sponsors, we love to have you and helping us to make this Beat Ball World Series possible. We are still sitting at getting ready to go into the top of the fifth as we take a water break to keep our players safe while they play. And speaking of players, DB, you used to play. How did you get started in this whole thing?
I did. So I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, and I was a wrestler in the public school that I attended in high school. Somebody involved with, at that time, they were called the Fast Star Comets, after a sponsor that they had, later to become the Chicago Comets. I got a call from Dave Smoka and a good man who's no longer with us, former NBBA president Joe Wood. And this was in the summer of '98. They talked to me about beat ball. I was very busy that summer, and it didn't sound fun at the time, even though I loved baseball, because the only beat ball that I knew was, the grade school beat ball, which was off a tee, and I wasn't wanting any part of that. So I didn't do it in '98. They called me back and tried again in 1999, along with another man by the name of Mike the Hoodlum McGlashan, and that worked. Got me out for a practice. Josh Perry, who was at that time pitching for the Comets, at that time his dad, Steve Perry, was alive. They lived just a couple towns over in the suburbs, so he used to have me over in his backyard, and he would pitch to me and his dad, who was an older player by then, didn't play much, but it was batting practice. Started going to practice, went to the World Series that year, wasn't very good. They gave me a beat ball. They were more plentiful back then. I was 16. They gave me a ball and said, go home and work this off season with it. Came back in 2000. I knew I had to get better if I wanted to go to Taiwan with the team, because we were only taking so many. It's expensive. So I guess I got better, because they took me to Taiwan. I was an all-star, and the rest, as they say, is history. So I owe some folks in Chicago, Dave Smolka, the late Joe Wood, Mike the Hoodlum McGlashan, the Perry family. Oh, man, the late, great Rick Casillas was part of that. Nick Lopez was part of that. Jan Trapphagen was part of that. She was Cassie's predecessor as tournament director for a long time. And I stayed with it ever since. And now, as I feel like I'm sort of maybe reaching the end, or at least a crossroads, it is nice to reminisce. So I appreciate that question. I've beat baseball, and I probably wouldn't have heard of Newton, Illinois, if it wasn't for beat baseball, because that's where Jared Woodard and all the Woodards lived. I moved up there just to be closer to my pitcher in 2009, and right out of school, and now I've got a home, a business, a reputation, and my roots now are in Newton, Illinois, where I'd never been until I was about 23 years old. So you never know where beat baseball can lead.
And I don't think you're ever truly out of beat baseball, whether you're playing or not. All these volunteers and positions, or sitting behind a microphone like this, it truly is a family event, and that's one of the things that draws me most to it. I mean, I absolutely am a diehard sports fan. I love sports, played sports, and I wish that we would have found this when my kids were younger and could have played, but it really is a memorable thing to see people and families all in this for the long haul.
Well, and if you ever do truly get out of it, you can always tune into a live stream when you get a chance, or when the missus lets you, or when work responsibilities let you, and stay in it that way as a fan, a spectator. If you can make it out and volunteer. I was operating bases the first game this morning because they needed a base operator. So, we're all trying to pitch in and do what we can.
You can always find something to do. You just want to come on out and watch. You might find a little fun in running bases, or running and just seeing what all is going on out here. But what's going on right now is we're getting ready to head to the top of the fifth with Nick Silver of the Philly Fire up at the plate. It is a 17-16 game, Edge leading, and the Fire desperate to climb back from that one run.
All right, here we go. Game on. Top of the fifth.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And that's going to go under the bat for a strike.
Number 7 is right.
Kraus and Lopez battling now late in the game and late in the day.
Ready. Pitch.
And it's going to be a short little grounder. Nick Milhern come up on that. He's caught it in his body, and that is going to be an out for Nick.
We need to move up for that. So, look, it looks like whatever was ailing Mulherron earlier seemed to be rectified a little bit. He's got about 4 or 5 putouts here in the last
And
2
most of those
innings.
have come right to him. He did have to go a little bit further for this one, but getting good placement ahead of time. And
But is he still limping badly, or does
he
it look
doesn't
like
seem
he's
like
moving
he's
better? Yeah.
he doesn't look like he's limping, but he's still not moving super fast. Not quite favoring it. This is Caesar.
Here we go.
Well, at any rate, 1 out. And
That's where it all starts.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
And taking a pass.
Now you're on. Here we go.
so it seems like no matter who hits in that 6th spot, whether it's Casey Kraus or somebody else, they take the first pitch. I wonder if that's a Pat thing or what it is.
And pop up into right, and Caesar running wild again, and then curving back in, and he is safe. That is going to be a run. Tied again, 17-17. I don't know how many times we have been tied back and forth in this hotly contested game.
Well, I think as many times as Lascano has scored. What is that? I have him like 4 for 5 now?
It's insane.
I think they've just gone through their batting order for the 5th time. Yeah, I think he's 4 for 5. Good job for Lascano, who's maybe only in this game because Casey Kraus had to go and get checked out.
Caesar wearing his goal fix with the orange triangles taped across each eyepiece to look like some wicked eyes. And this will bring Justin Rhines back to the plate, keeping most of his head and face covered.
I almost brought a tear to my eye asking him, making me think about looking back on my career. Started with the Comets, went to the Indy Thunder when I started college, when they were in their infancy. I mean, that was when it was Ron Brown, myself, Booker, and James Michaels peddling raffle tickets at spaghetti suppers and stuff, just to be able to get to the World Series. Spent some time with a team called the RHI Extreme, back to the Comets, and then on to San Antonio to finish up with the Jets. I was privileged enough to be on the charter jet team. 2016, we took 5th, 4th and 17, 3rd and 18th, and then runner-up in 19. Then the pandemic happened, and I called it a playing career.
Foul dropping straight down.
Did the Indy Thunder public relations on their Drive for 5 in 2021, one of my favorite experiences. And then I've been doing the league stuff ever since. They inducted me into the Hall of Fame in 2024. Finally let me in. 2023. It was in Norman. Doesn't seem that long ago, but Neil McDonald and myself were the only 2 that were inducted that year in that class. There were a couple others that were recognized who weren't in Beaumont the year before, but it was just Neil and I. And Neil almost got this game today. I was going to give him a shot at color commentary, but the Lord fixed my voice just in time.
Set. Ready.
Gonna take a pass.
So it's been great. The whole thing's been great. Now, I wouldn't trade it for anything, but
Ready. Pitch.
Bouncing grounder to the left. Nick going over there to get in front of it. It's just past his fingertips, and he is going to be safe. Fire now taking the lead by 1 again, 18-17. Corey coming over there to back up Nick, but not in time. And this brings Mike Coughlin, lefty, back up to the plate again.
Punch, counter punch, punch, counter punch. Philly Fire fighting off the ropes. And now they're back on top. But they need to store up some nuts here for the 6th inning because the Edge have the last at bats. I wouldn't want to go into the bottom of the 6th if I'm Philly with anything less than a 5-run lead. Really.
Mike Coughlin.
Winner faces the Thunder tomorrow. They'll have to beat them twice. Good luck. Thunder are on a mission.
They did not like being off of the championship.
No.
And a bouncing grounder over into right, over to Ja'Cory Wiley through his legs as he runs for first. Ja'Cory scrambling back for it. It's just out of reach, and that's going to be another run for Mike Coughlin. 19-17. He has made most of his runs this game.
Ugly. That was ugly. Sorry, Ja'Cory, but that ball's got to be handled. I don't care if you're playing on Friday or on the moon or where you're playing. He had plenty of time. Yeah. And now Lisa. Up. And now one of the Edge spotters, I almost said Thunder because she used to be.
Lisa Gilchrist.
She's fired up. This is the wrong field to be fired up on, though, because Mike Woodard won't have any of it.
Not going to take any flack.
I've never seen well, I don't want to speak too soon. I was going to say I don't think I've ever seen a spotter get tossed. She's gone.
Yeah, he's telling her she's off.
She's gone. Lisa Gilchrist has been tossed.
Now she's...
All right. All right, so we're going to have a break while they try to talk an angry Lisa Gilchrist off the field. As soon as she gets off the field, maybe we can continue this game so we can all get home. I love Lisa, but now's not the time for this. All right.
And now Leah is
So she'll watch the rest of this game.
So Leah is now out there.
It is hot, and tempers are getting hot. And now we'll get back to the game.
John Margist up at the plate. Again, it is 19-17 at the top of the 5th.
The Thunder the Edge need to keep it together here. Despite that little distraction, they're in this game and they've got the last at bats. But if you think that Pat Krause and them are going to fold, you got another thing coming.
Just underneath the bat.
As he's unrattled, and look at Pat just working. He's only been pitching since I think 2021.
4 years.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, I don't think I saw him before we came back from COVID.
Set, ready, pitch.
It's incredible.
Nice line drive just past Nick and going under his arms. Corian coming over there to get it. And Corian with that out. Corian White for the putout.
Well, Corian can play defense, so good play there by Corian. They needed it too. If nothing else, for a little pick-me-up.
Scott Hogwood coming on up to the plate.
Well, I can say it now that it happened. That's the first time I've ever seen a spotter get tossed.
She wasn't evicted. He just told her she had to leave the field. I'm not sure if that's going to count as an eviction or not.
No, it is. It is. They're in the field right now. He threw her out, dude. When he tells you you're out, you get off the field, that doesn't mean just to go in and get some water. She's gone. And that means she's not spotting tomorrow either. And that is tough. Now, that applies to players, and I wonder if it applies to field competitors, like pitchers, catchers, and...
I would assume any player.
Yeah, because, well, I've seen one pitcher get ejected, and they don't let him pitch the next game. So,
I would assume that counts.
So if they have 2 championship games tomorrow, she could come back for the second, but she has just... Wow.
And just barely nicking that. Scott Hogwood with his baseball pants pulled up to just under the knees.
Been another interesting day today. We had a team that wasn't allowed to make any substitutions because they didn't turn any in before the game with their roster on accident. They had to play with starters the whole way. On Friday,
Archers.
that was Gateway, yep. And they lost that game 19-12. But how would you like to be told on Friday with your backs against the wall that you can't use any subs? I mean, whoever turned in the lineup card just didn't bother looking at it, I guess.
Taking a pass.
And that's unfortunate because that's a really good team. You know, it may or may not have made a difference today, but you don't want your season to end like that. Man, I know, one of my favorite players, Mark Morris, he puts every inch of himself into being the best player he can. And now we're being told, now I'm going to get thrown out here. And I can't broadcast from the parking lot because we don't have a remote mic. So I'm just going to have to lean in.
Ready, pitch.
Just over the top.
That's actually the first time that Mike Woodard has had to tell me. And I didn't think I was that loud. So, if it happens again, maybe Rosino will be doing this solo. I wouldn't do that to you.
Just over the top. That is going to be out and bring the Edge in as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Fire leading 19-17. Jeremy already out on the field
Jeremy
to walk
already out.
in his players.
Back and forth this. If I can hear that clear.
So if a field competitor who's not a player gets ejected, are they subject to having to be out the next game also?
I would think so, but that's the Jason Price decision.
Was I really carrying that much with the voice, Mike? I didn't think.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think I was any more than before, but look, I'm trying to.
Bottom of the 5th.
I'm trying to forget how hot and tired we all are, and.
Philly setting up out in the field. Sun is back out from behind the clouds. A little bit earlier, we did have a fertilizer small little rig running up alongside the back of the fields and the cornfield.
You know what? We're between innings. I can be loud now. How about them Outlaws? Oh.
You can.
They finished 8th. 8th place. They had a roster of 8, and one of them was kind of hurt, so they were running with like 7 yesterday. They beat New Jersey, and they beat Cleveland, and they really gave Oklahoma a good game. They just ran out of steam. But how about that 8th? How about
Good for those BCS Outlaws.
Oh man, that little team. I'm proud of them. Romack, Hillary Oswald, and Alex Quick. His name fits his definition. He's quick.
And we are all set in the field.
That Aguiar player, they got over from Austin. He's not bad either.
Pedro.
All right,
Corey
here we go.
Wiley.
I gotta whisper now.
They're asking for the ball held up.
Boy, this game might get real interesting.
Asking for a new ball.
It's getting tense on both sides. So that's...
Well, that one has a little life.
For a minute.
Trying to remember when the last
To
time.
lose some rosters.
3. Well, yeah, those are. We're going to lose rosters for more reasons than the wind. These are waterlogged. And
It's Corey Wiley ready for the pitch.
Sarah, ready, ball.
Just underneath the bat.
look at this folder. This used to be a good file folder, like the one I'd take to court. Here we go.
Center, ready, boy. 20.
Just over the top.
Ready.
Here we go.
Center, ready, boy.
And a bouncing grounder just past Mike Coughlin's shoulder catching it. Justin Ryan's trying to get to it. No, that is going to be a run for Ja'Cory. Now it's only a one-run game. 19-18 Fire leading. And Nick Mulhern up to the plate.
Too bad because you could hear it hit Coughlin, but bounced away and he couldn't recover.
Right off his shoulder and flying back behind third.
So if he'd have gotten that in an armpit or in an elbow pit, what do you call that, crook in your elbow? Is there such a thing as an elbow pit, Rosanna?
I think they call it that, actually.
Okay. What about your knee? Is that a knee pit back there? Mm-hmm. I'm going to leave it right there.
And a nice hard pop up the middle as he runs for first. They are scrambling. And that is going to be a run for Nick. And we are back once again, tied 19-19. Oh, Nick is limping back in. He is definitely favoring that knee and limping. Now it's going to go to Corey White as most of the defense position heads back into their spots. Nick Silver and Justin Rhines after having a run out to the back. Jeremy bringing that ball in.
There's not many people here. We must have a ton of viewers. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you're back at the hotel and in the bar cranking that up for all the pilots and folks that are staying at that hotel.
High and foul, almost going to land on John Lykowski Jr. over there with his camera beyond third.
We wouldn't want that. That camera's put a lot of work in this week. John Lykowski Jr. is our social media specialist, so all the photos that you've seen on our Facebook page, all the little short video clips, and all of the score updates and things like that, that's John Lykowski Jr. from Lykowski, formerly of Lykowski Studios.
Dropping straight down, Corey White. Again, we are tied 19-19, bottom of the fifth.
Corey struck out a couple of times today.
Gotta wait for that golf cart to finish getting out of range. And here we go.
Sarah, ready, ball.
And not quite to our table.
Yeah, so should have I. Sorry.
Right, I'm like,
Sarah, ready, ball.
And a hard one way out into deep left. Justin scrambling. He's knocked it past him, and that's going to be a run for Corey as now the Edge takes the lead. 2019, cheering from that Edge bench.
Back and forth we go, and what do you know? It's late in the game, and Corey White gets a clutch hit.
Joe, be quiet.
It's getting interesting now. 20-19 Edge.
Corey going to the plate, and a much happier Corey as he comes back from this hit versus his last. Still going to take a while to get that ball brought back up. Jeremy now has possession of the ball out next to Mike Coughlin before he's going to walk that up. Mike Coughlin stretching just a little bit. And Kemp lifting up third base. And re-putting that into position. Again, this is Corey on White.
Reese.
High pop up into deep mid behind Scott Hogwood. Well, John Marr just going over the corner of that, but that is going to be safe, and that is a run. 21-19, 2-run lead. And looky, here we have Caleb Wright. So Caleb must have come in
Okay.
for Grant.
Well, that's
Put him
that's
into
big
the
there.
4 spot.
The White
Caleb
brothers.
Wright. Been talking about how we had not seen him today, but here he is. Jeremy setting up his feet.
Oh, they're going to get, so 2, 3, and 4. Is this Caleb?
Caleb Wright.
Oh, he's coming in for
Yeah,
Grant.
For Grant, yep.
All right, so the White brothers deliver, and now we're going to get a look at the kid, the man-child, Caleb Wright. The only player other than Justin Holland to hit 2 home runs in a game. The problem is, sometimes he tries to hit home runs, and he gets inconsistent. I don't know how many times I've told him, 90%. I mean, look how
High, straight
strong
up
he
in the
is.
air and dropping down by
Boom.
Mike Coughlin. He's just got to get to it before Caleb gets to that base. And he is going to be safe. That is a run for Caleb as he slams his fist into his hands as a, oh yeah, moment.
young legs, Rosina, young legs. White brothers and Caleb, and now the Edge are on top and still batting.
Caleb Wright with a quick hug with Jeremy there.
All right, I got to correct something before we go any further because I'm getting text messages like crazy about it. That was Reese Hudson that was
is
out there
Reese.
spotting
Okay.
with Lisa before Lisa was ejected. So Reese, which makes sense, he joined their roster late apparently.
Okay, late. Okay.
They never even, they
Added him as a late addition.
They gave, yeah, so he's wearing Malloy's jersey. So sorry, we didn't mean to call Reese a girl.
Sorry about that out there, folks. Okay, now
Thanks, Kyle Lewis, for straightening us out on that. I don't always see my
have
messages
another-
right away, but
sub is in.
who is this now?
This should be This is Elijah Burns is now in the 5 spot.
Boogie Burns, yeah, they're putting in all of their youth now.
It's going to be another strike.
Boogie came up with the Thunder, but he didn't really play much because their roster was so big. This would be about 2021.
And a
That's
nice
a
line
shot.
drive. McCoglin stops, goes over his body. They're all... And Justin's got it. Justin Rhines for that put out. Wonderful play. It sailed past McCoglin.
It's the second one, Rosina.
And Marr just lined himself up. It was right into his hands, and he was able to make that before the base touch. Corey Wiley.
Second big one he's made. Justin Rhines is keeping him in the game.
Sitting still at 22-19. Edge leading by 3. Corey Wiley. And very low.
Blake Boudreau, our former president, from 2017 through 2023, he is tuned
Almost taking Jeremy's face off. Goes down to Scott Hogwood, stopping it with his body, and he has it. And it is out. Scott Hogwood.
in. So Hogwood and Rhines make big plays in the inning to keep the fire close.
Starting over with Nick Melhern, but as we saw last time, he was limping coming back from first base. See if he can get that ball in there and enough time to allow himself to get to base.
As I was going to say, if Jeremy Lopez, who is now in speed-up mode, if he'll give me enough time to even get a word in edgewise, Boudreau is tuned in, wasn't able to make this World Series for the first time in a long time. Yeah, they must know something. They're speeding up like crazy here. Oh.
Pop up into right. Let's see if that stays fair.
Barely. Unbelievable.
Nope, it is foul. It rolled at the last second after Nick had even got past Sean Walker. I was afraid they were going to cry stop, but he was running a little wide, so it was all right, but then rolled foul.
Well, Mike waited as long as he could to make that call just to make sure. Unfortunately, that means the runner was pretty well to the base. He's going to have to walk it all the way back. But you want to get that right. The last thing you want to do is make a call and have it scoot and you're wrong. Not in a game like this. This is
Not this tight. Not
too
this big
dire
game.
at this point. Bottom of the 5th. No tomorrow for one of these teams.
This was found on the ground, so I filled it out.
Tight game.
It was from the Thunder. Nick back up at home plate. He was limping slightly coming back.
Quick on the trigger.
Sarah, ready, ball. 20.
Just over the top.
Sarah, ready, ball.
Taking that pass.
Here we go, baby. You ready now, baby? You ready now?
We are at the bottom of the 5th. 19-22 edge lead.
Sarah, ready, ball.
And just getting a little nick on that, dropping down.
Stay together, right here. Sarah, ready, ball.
And a nice line drive over on the left. Justin lining up for that.
Got
and he's
it.
got it. Justin Rhines. Justin Rhines, Scott Hogwood, right back to Justin Rhines for 3 outs, holding the edge at only a 3-run lead as the Philly come in and we head to the top of the 6th. This is it, the Phillies' last chance at bat, and they need to build up a little bit of an addition.
All right, it's winning time now. Top of the 6th, close game. Call your friends, call your neighbors. If you're out at Walmart, go over to the electronics section and turn up all of their devices and tune them in to add NBBA 76 on YouTube so all the shoppers can listen. If you're out running errands, you're stuck at a stoplight, crank up the Bluetooth and crank it up, especially if somebody's right next to you with their windows open so that they can hear it. If you're out at one of the local watering holes, tell the bartender, hey man, just put it on the television, put it on that smart TV. We want everybody in the world to hear and see the 6th inning of the elimination final between the Edge and the Philly Fire. Winner goes to the finals. Loser finishes 3rd. Fire coming up, needing 3 to tie.
3 to tie. 4 to take the lead, and they're also going to need to build that cushion. A big fluffy pillow cushion. Nick Silver up to the plate. Waiting for the Edge to set up out in the field as they sound out. Leah pulling Jacory back a little bit further.
Silver to lead it off. He's scored a couple, he's struck out a couple times. He's difficult to put out. He just needs to put it in play somewhere. He can't press.
Set, ready, pitch.
Just under.
Kraus wants the top of his bat, not the bottom, but with Nick's speed, what he really wants is for him to put it in play.
Set, ready, pitch.
Just underneath. Sweat pouring off of his blindfold.
It'll be 5, 6, and 1 due up.
Set, ready, pitch.
Taking a pass.
So 1 pass ball, 2 strikes. He's got to swing.
Set, ready, pitch.
And just getting a nick on that.
And now we've gone as far as we can go. Full count. Nobody out, top of the 6th, 22-19 Edge. Fire chasing 3. No Casey Kraus to bail him out either.
Set, ready, pitch.
Pop up, and that's going to be foul on the right.
That's the right idea. That's the right idea. If he can just put that one over that line and decide that he was a little late, but that's the top of the bat. Silver, the St. Louis native.
Set, ready, pitch.
Oh,
And that's going to be a strike.
the mighty Nick Silver strikes out. 1 out.
Strike one. They only have 2 left. Cesar coming up to the plate. Mike Ricardo bringing him in.
That's so tough, Rosina, because you can't steal first or third base and beat ball. So when you got speed, it does you no good if you can't get out of the batter's box because you strike out. And that's his 3rd by my count of the game.
First, please. Third. Here we go.
Is this Lescano?
Yep.
He's been their
Cesar.
hero out of the 6th spot. Him and Rhines,
Set, ready, pitch.
who's on deck. And he took the first one again.
Justin.
Yeah, Rhines on deck. So, Lescano,
Set, ready, pitch.
And just over the top.
as a car goes by now. We're ready.
Set, ready, pitch.
Short pop up in the center.
Just landed.
Corey's going to have to go after it. He's
Got
got
him.
hold of it, and that's an out. That is 2 outs for the Fire. They only have 1 left to work with, and they trail by 3. Justin Rhines coming up.
Champs on the ropes with their best player, at least in this game, coming up. And Margist and Coughlin. Well, Coughlin first and then Margist. This is going to be tough.
And if
But
the
you're
Edge-
not out, man. When you want to beat the champs, what do you got to do? You got to knock them out.
Come on, boys, focus.
One out away from an all-Indy final. That'd be the first time in league history that I know of that 2 teams from the same city met for the championship. It almost happened in Chicago, but I think Austin got in the way of that back in the 90s. I heard something about that.
Set, ready, pitch.
High pop up into left, and that's going to be foul.
Oh, that's what they wanted.
Back.
Balls up, runners out.
Said runner is out.
But the base was off, though. What happened here?
Base off, no base. No base.
Yeah, the base was off.
Foul ball.
So, yeah, that's a no base. That's got to be. You can't end like that, no. Yeah, he turned it off early.
They turned the base off before I got there anyway. I thought he called foul.
Boy, that's interesting right there. The base operator thought they called foul. Pat Krause, he's saying called foul.
No, it's because the coach called foul.
The coach called foul.
Pitch. Pat called it.
Unbelievable.
That is going to be the game.
And that's the end. And that
22-19 Edge.
unbelievable. I don't know that I've ever seen a game end that way. The Philly Fire's championship run is over. The Edge will face the Thunder tomorrow. And what it sounds like happened is Justin Rhines hit the ball. Krause said foul ball. The ball, in fact, was fair. And it was picked up, and even though there was no base by that point, because everything had stopped, pitchers, got to be careful when they do that. You see some of them do it. I've never seen a game end that way, but either way, in a sort of unreal, melodramatic fashion. I hate to see that. We've seen a bunch of things today that, frankly, shouldn't happen in games of this caliber. And so I think we need to rethink some things as far as how we allow or don't allow things to be fixed. But at any rate, that's the final. I'm sorry it had to end that way. Philly Fire out on a technicality there. 22-19 the final. Edge and Thunder will play tomorrow. I believe the game time is 9:30, but I'm going to get the official word and then we will post an update. Thank you all for tuning in. That was a great game with a lousy finish. And I'm going to say that right now. I'll say it one more time. I rarely give strong opinions, but that was a lousy way for a championship team to get knocked out. 22-19 the final. For David Benny and Rosina Foster and the rest of our hot and tired and hangry production crew, we will see you tomorrow, ripe and ready to go.